Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. It's September 12th. Welcome back to the build. Should be a pretty action-packed day. Maybe. We'll see. You never really know how things will go. So today our trusses are going to be delivered. We're not really sure what time they're coming. We have all of our purlins to cut as well. Those are going to go between all the trusses. And we have all the hangers to nail onto the trusses once they get here too. So there's a lot of things, a lot of prep things to happen too before we start flying trusses into the actual structure. So last week, this is how far Don and I got. We weren't planning on even starting until today, so everything we've done so far has been bonus, just to kind of get ahead of things. So we have the two side walls and then one far end wall stood, and we plumbed them up, and they should be good to go to start receiving trusses. We left this end wall completely off, so we can very easily just bring the trusses in and set them and work our way back out to the outside. And I'll keep this cavity nice and open so we can just go straight in with the trusses just above the height of the wall here and go all the way in. We don't have to finagle our way around a bunch of tall posts, try and get in here and get the trusses all the way to the back. So the mid-span trusses, those just get slipped into the posts, and then the end trusses get bolted onto the front of the end posts. So we'll get into more of that when we get there later on. The first thing we're doing today is cutting the purlins. So my beam saw's got the original blade I got with this thing, and it's kind of beat up. It's missing a bunch of teeth, so we got a new blade for it.
Very good.
I think you should hold this for scale, for the people.
For the people. What do the people have to say?
What do the people think about this? It's like as big as your torso.
My big torso.
So we're gonna use the beam saw with this cut prep table thing that Don made last week. Piece of plywood with some perimeter edging on here. It allows us to butt all these 2x6s in here and gang cut all of them at once with the beam saw. So this saw will cut a 6x6, so it'll cut 2x6 as well on edge. So stack them all on here and give them a cut. Oh, my friend Eric is here today too. He's gonna give us a hand, and then Donovan's friend Jack is gonna be out today too. So we'll have plenty of help today to keep things rolling.
We'll bring it self levels, and we do have start getting right there.
Good. Okay, all good. So while they're cutting purlins, Don and I are over here getting the corners all figured out. So one of the questions we got in the last video is why we just screwed the corners and then nailed them. It was so that we can make any adjustments here as needed once both walls are stood and they're all kind of sitting here. So we're making our final tweaks on the plumbing in both directions of the corner, and having those screws in there allows for some flexibility. Another question we got was on the brackets for the corners. How come they don't have their own bracket things? Like this side's got these U brackets. On this side we have these L brackets, so these get installed after the building is all set, and you get these posts dialed in exactly where you want them. And the bracket bolts to the concrete and then bolts to the post. All the way.
All the way, and then a little.
Goodbye, birds.
Except they're flying the wrong direction.
West, south, whatever. right, 10:30. Trusses are here. They're not getting up the driveway, so we're gonna bring them all down. We'll bring them all up, I guess. We're going to the trusses. So we'll be getting those trusses out of the driveway in a little bit. Behind me is the truck that has a replacement load of lumber. One of the bundles for the Purlins they sent out were 16 feet. They should have been 18 footers, so they're here to swap those out at the same time, of course. So I'm heading up to swap this truck out and then head back down and pick up all of the trusses. So it turns out we have a very enthusiastic and cooperative driver today. So he's going to attempt to make the climb. It's the climb. We'll see how this goes. So he's gonna miss the mailbox. First choke point. Trees on both sides. He's going.
Kind of committed at this point.
You can always back out. Nice, through those choke points. Okay.
Yeah. If he can make the top corner, he's good.
The trusses look smaller on the truck.
When they go vertical, they're gonna look really tall.
Is that how that works? It's going real wide. Now's the tricky part. See if we make this turn now. So he's got this far, he's kind of slipping on this loose gravel. So we're gonna pull him the rest of the way up. You want 3/8?
You got it.
Yeah. Yep, I got 3/8, hang on. Looks like I'm finally gonna use the extra 3/8 chain from making the safety chains for my trailer. We got through the gate.
Yeah, you just don't know. It's like when driver's like, oh, nope, this.
I know, it's all about the driver, like even try it.
Yeah. There's your extra truss.
Yay! Is it the right one? I don't know. Yeah, right on top. So the original building was 63 feet long, and at the last minute, I said, let's go one more bigger. So that's the new one that they made to go with this whole set.
What's the people got to say?
What are the people saying? All right, trusses. Here they are. They have arrived. Eric and Jack are going to continue cutting purlins. That's what all of these are. Those are all the new ones that just showed up to replace the 16 footers. I think Donovan and I are going to go and mess with trusses and start getting some layout done and come up with a plan. All right, we're going to get started on the purlin layout onto the trusses. So we're going to do a few of these at a time, getting them together, do the layout, and then just transfer it down. I don't think we can be able to get all 9 trusses aligned to do all of them at once. So it looks like we're going to do 3 at a time and kind of go from there. Now, one question that I got a bunch was on the building, if it's a kit or whatever. So this is going to be a modified kit. This is from Menards. So you can design a structure on their building designer thing online. You can go in stores or whatever. Big thank you to Lucas at the Golden Valley store for dealing with all of my changes that I requested throughout this fun procedure as we're trying to cram this through as quickly as possible. And that was one of the biggest reasons we went with this, is because the lead times were the best with them, and we're trying to get this up before winter. So these are the general plans that they provide with the building as well. So you get a set of plans that you can submit with your building permits, and then you actually have a plan to work off of as you are building. The only kind of downside, I'd say, is that it's not quite a kit, whereas like every part's not labeled. So like you just get like a stack of lumber and you got to figure out what the heck it's for.
Yep.
But it's not like it's that many parts, which is kind of nice.
Oh, there's only 300 purlins.
Oh, the inspector's here. Hello, Pancake. Come and check things out.
And what we should do is mark every one of the, I don't care which end.
For all sense, we know which is all our.
Well, just so we always set one end to one, so we don't do this with the trusses.
So as we're doing the layout on these, Eric and Jack are going to start doing the hangers for those purlins. So we got 2 styles of hangers. On the end trusses, these get hung just like joists. So these are just standard old joist hangers. Those will get attached to the end trusses. The end trusses have the ribbon going across here, so you give us a place to put our steel on the outside. So they're like, basically they're girts on this side for attaching all of the steel to. And then on the mid-span trusses, we have saddle hangers, which we'll show you in a little bit. Hardest part about this is just kind of keeping things oriented correctly. So we have our, I guess, datum end is going to be this side. They're all marked on this side, so it's going to be consistently placed onto the building on the same sidewall. So if there's any deviation in the symmetry of these trusses, that doesn't really matter because we're not flipping them over this way or that way. Any asymmetrical nature of these trusses will be part of the building all the way down, so it's not going to do any kind of weird waving as you look down the trusses. It's that tab that's keeping the safety up.
Yeah.
Wait,
The wrong way.
on the wrong side?
Yeah.
Okay, get the hangers installed on the end truss. We're gonna go set it in the field for now, so it's ready to go, and then keep on setting hangers. We'll come back and set this one probably today. I think that's kind of our goal today, is to get at least this guy hung up on those posts up there. This is the end truss for the north wall here, so we need to put the hangers on the opposite face. So we're just flopping this one over, and then we can get the hangers installed onto it as well.
Trying to get a sense of where to go with everything.
I would just set them here because we're gonna start pulling these out of here next anyway.
Yeah.
We just gotta prop it up a little bit and then.
That one will work in the hole.
So I think if we just
Oh, that's gonna be easy.
So hit that with the hammer.
hit it with a hammer, and then we might hit another. And hit a couple nails in that. The other side will nail
Up there, I think.
up there. It's just gonna be easier rather than trying to.
Flip it. Yeah. Huh? So now we're working on prepping the end wall to receive the truss. So we're adding some blocking to the top of the post where the truss is going to rest on, so we can fly it in, set it on the blocking, and it'll be at the right height. The end trusses, they get bolted to the outside of these end posts, so they end up being essentially part of the girt system going all the way up. So with those 3 blocks up there, we're ready to put this first truss on. So everybody's over here. Here comes the machine, and we're gonna set it on those blocks, and then I'll screw it into the posts.
I need to get centered here a little bit better.
Okay. And lift, up, keep going, a little more. You want to try and get it more like...
If you just lift your end a little bit.
It'd be past an inch and a half past. Again, go up a little bit.
Okay, go.
Trying to get this post centered here in the truss. I have an idea. Here is an idea. There, that's something to push off of. Okay.
So from the very top, we're going to go back there and there to the second post, and then it's going to stake out here.
Last little thing up here for now is to set these chains, which are going to allow us to rack and square the building and support everything as we keep going. That's what I just hooked up. But here's the view up here. Yeah, this is rather high. It's you ready for this? A long way down. Okay, taking the lift around to the inside, so we can start setting some of the interior trusses. Controls on this are kind of goofy. So you have this toggle switch up here which controls your steering, which way to turn the tires, and then the joystick controls forward or reverse on the drives. So it takes a little bit of getting used to. Alright, we got another truss. First intermediate truss. Yeah. What do people say?
What do the people say? People say they like it.
It's big. It does get taller when you stand it up. We'll see if Donovan hits the camera. So we got Eric on one end, and then Jack will be on the other end, gonna get into that fork there. And then I'll be on the platform, and I will drop in some of these purlins, and we'll go from there. Eric's gonna tap this truss over. This is a little tappy tappy.
Okay, we are.
Way over. The top's gotta go that way like 6 inches.
Okay. It's almost all the way in.
Okay. It's super awkward. So we're gonna chain the building up for the night.
12 inches. More.
So the telehandlers are anchor point. We have a chain that runs from here to the top of the center post. Then we have those 2 chains here, which connect it back down to the footings over there, which will hold stable overnight. So it doesn't blow over. So there we go. 2 trusses up today. Pretty decent start. This is actually starting to become something. Tomorrow, what we're gonna do is start getting the this back intersection between the end walls, or between the end wall and the side walls, squared up and looking good and locked in, and then we'll start working down the whole sidewall structure thing with the rest of the trusses, and kind of going from there. So that is gonna do it for today. We'll see you tomorrow for what's gonna happen on Tuesday. We got a couple more trusses already prepped, ready to go. We got some more to prep over here, and we'll get that squared up and start flying the rest of the trusses in and setting all those purlins. So it's also kind of interesting being that high up in the air in a lift, setting purlins. It takes a little getting used to being that high up in the air. All right, thank you as always for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments on, we still haven't, we're gonna name this thing. Thank you all for your suggestions so far. We'll pick something sometime eventually. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments, and until next time, happy woodworking. Say bye, kids.
Dad, I'm fixing this for you.
Okay, thank you.